Welcome back. Joining us on the show now is Deepak Balani. He's DG at ISMA. Mr. Balani, thank you so much for joining in. I remember our last conversation and you said that the tie-up, the MOU that you have done with the Global Carbon Council is one to, of course, strengthen the sugar and bioenergy sector in India, and second is to make that additional revenue stream as well coming in for the sugar mills there. Do tell us about what this partnership is all about and how soon do you see it executing, frameworks being set, etc.
Thank you, Manisha ji, for having me in your show. At COP32 in Brazil, in Belém, ISMA has recently signed an MOU with the Global Carbon Council. This is the first internationally recognized carbon market program, and this is a very important step for the India's sugar sector, as we will enter the global carbon markets and also strengthen our role in the climate action. And as you know, the sugar industry is a very clean energy producer, from ethanol to CBG to the cogeneration, SAF, and even now green hydrogen. So we believe that through this partnership, ISMA will help the mills to measure, verify, and earn value from these emission reduction activities. And as I had mentioned before, this MOU is going to support our mills in designing and registering high-quality carbon projects. This will also align with India's CCTS and also the Article 6.2 rules. And it will give a clear access to our mills to the global voluntary and bilateral carbon market. So perhaps this will open, as I very rightly said by you, this will open new revenue opportunities for the mills, enhance their sustainability credentials, and also at the same time strengthen the India's clean energy leadership. And our goal is very simple: to make the sugar industry, the entire value chain, more efficient, more climate efficient, future ready, and also tap into the additional revenue realization and more viability for the sugar mills. So this is a very good step towards entering the global carbon markets for the sugar mills.
Mr. Balani, that is a big positive. The other big positive, of course, comes in sense of the sugar production this time around. The third big positive, of course, is the allowed export for sugar for the season that already has come in from the government. But that's exactly where the positives actually stop. I was doing a SWOT analysis on the sugar industry, and there's just way too many negatives. And how are you looking to really tend to that? Because the sugar MSP has not been hiked since 2019. Ethanol price is yet to be revised. Production costs, I was looking in last many years, have only gone up with the FRP prices just being one of the part there. It is volatile production trends. There's competition also from the unorganized gur and khansari sectors. I could go on really. But what would you say are the major challenges right now and that are being worked upon as well?
Absolutely. See, as you very rightly said, I would perhaps define this as challenges and not really negative for the industry. I would say all these decisions are necessary, but I would also say that these are in process and pending the approval of the government. Government is completely aware of the issues, specifically on MSP, which you very rightly mentioned, has not been revised for last 5 to 6 years. High time that the MSP revised. MSP, because we know that FRP has gone up to 355, SAP in UP has gone up, even the cane prices in Karnataka has gone up. So considering that, we are hoping that the government is completely aware, and we are hoping that they will announce the revised FRP to the tune of around 41 rupees very soon, because that is the only way where the industry, the sugar industry, will be viable and will be able to pay to the farmers on time. So to avoid any further cane arrears during the end of the season, I think MSP revision is utmost important. As you very rightly said, we have thanked the government. I think very proactive step of allowing export of 1.5 million tons. I believe the market is also inching up and sending a signal that in times to come, maybe 15, 20 days from now, the global market will start accepting Indian sugar.
Mr. Balani, the international cues are quite on the bearish side, but I get your point. As Brazil sugar is done with, Indian sugar perhaps will find a market there. But what is it that ISMA is working with in sense of global surplus estimates this time around for the season?
We have a production estimate of around 343 lakh tons and with around a consumption of around 285 lakh tons and an export of 15 lakh tons. We already have the diversion of around 34 lakh tons, which is in the cycle 1. We are also hoping that there would be slightly more diversion towards ethanol in the cycle 2. So we are still looking at a closing stock of around 60-65 lakh tons, which perhaps is a very good closing stock. However, the right balance is very important. And we hope that we will be able to export 50 lakh tons and we will have only balanced sugar in the country so that the prices are maintained at a stable level and the industry gets viable prices for their sugar so that the revenue realization and the revenue of the sugar mills are viable so that we can pay to the farmers on time. So we are hoping for a good season, a balanced season. We're only hoping that the government will now announce the revised MSP. And also, I believe on the ethanol pricing, something will come up very shortly.
One more thing, Mr. Balani, and what is your sense on the global market surplus and how are you looking at the global prices going forward from here? Because this year as well, the raws have seen a decline by nearly 22% from where we stand.
See, as far as the global stock is concerned, we are looking for a surplus overall. We'll be looking at an overall surplus around 4 million tons globally. Having said that, there would be a window of low quality white starting December 15 until March end before the Brazilian sugar hits the global market. So there is a window for Indian LQWs and also some raws. I believe the international market for whites will inch up and will be viable for the mills to export. So we are hoping that we will have a conducive scenario somewhere in December to March so that we can export maximum from India. We already have inquiries from countries like Afghanistan, Kazakhstan, and also some African countries.
All right, Mr. Balani, thank you so much for joining in. So mixed cues really coming in from sugar, but as Mr. Balani chooses to say, it's not negative, just some challenges where the government is aware of and perhaps would be worked on as we go ahead from there. Well, with that, it's time for a short break. When we come back, we'll put more focus towards markets and stock specifics.